Greetings, salutations, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vicky Kazee Hollifield Softball Complex for day one of the 2019 NCAA Southeast Regional. You get a look at the bracket. Day starts out today with the second-seeded Carson-Newman Eagles and this site host taking on the South Atlantic Conference tournament champions, the Anderson Trojans. This is a rematch. 12 days ago, Anderson picked up a 13-11 win over Carson-Newman in the South Atlantic Conference title game, and take on the Eagles today here at 1. Game 2 of the day features the regular season SAC champs Lincoln Memorial and the 6th seed, the Wingate Bulldogs. I'm Adam Cavalier. We're glad to have you with us here on the Eagle Sports Network for the 2019 Southeast Regional. Carson-Newman hosting a regional for the first time in school history. Eagles have been to now 15 regionals, but this is the first time ever that Carson-Newman has acted as a regional site host. Eagles will turn to Allison Rager in the circle, an all-region pitcher, the South Atlantic Conference Pitcher of the Year, 2.02 ERA with a 16-7 record for Rager, 25 appearances, 21 starts with 145 2/3 innings pitched, and just a .223 batting average against. Rager receiving some last-second instruction from her second baseman, Val C., and she's ready to lock and load against the SAC Tournament MVP, Jocelyn Martin, first baseman and freshman for the Trojans. That's from the left-handed batter's box and swings at the first pitch, grounds it to short. Home field's a low throw to first is in time to Taylor Scott, and quickly there's one away. Underway at 12:58 p.m., 2 minutes ahead of schedule here at the Vic. That sends the catcher, Maddie Hamilton, to the plate, hitting .370 on the year. Right-hand batter versus right-hand pitcher, and Rager deals. First pitch on the handles for a strike, 0-1 the count to Maddie Hamilton. Hamilton, 4 for 11 at the plate this year against Carson-Newman, as Rager winds and delivers. And Hamilton takes sign outside for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Maddie Hamilton. Rager the pitch. Swing, a bouncer back to the circle. Rager fields on the backhand grab, throw to first. In time to Taylor Scott, and quickly 2 away off of a pair of groundouts. A much better start for Carson-Newman than the Eagles had in the SAC title game when they made 4 errors and Anderson scored 7 runs. The first pitch to Boatner is outside for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Rager winds and delivers the 1-0. Outside for a ball, 2-0 to Boatner. 2 away, bases empty. Rager wheels and deals the 2-0. Swinging a roller to third. Patterson stoops to field. Throw to first in plenty of time to retire Boatner. So 3 straight groundouts for Allison Rager. She's dominant in the circle for the Eagles to open up the contest. Carson-Newman will turn to Rhinus, Fiesinger, and Caldwell at the plate when we get back after this on the Eagle Sports Network.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
Solid start for Carson-Newman defensively as the Eagles retire the Trojans in 1-2-3 fashion. And now Lacey Reines, Abby Fiesinger, and Haley Caldwell will try to get things started off against Anderson's starting left-handed pitcher, Kayla Pepper, sophomore with a 2.82 ERA, 15-12 on the year. And she'll have to contend with Lacey Reines, second-team All-Region named today by the NFCA, hitting .367. Lefty-on-lefty matchup for the Eagles. Pepper just the fourth left-handed starter that Carson-Newman has had to contend with. They've been pretty good against lefties this year, .474 as a team, as Pepper fires high to begin this at-bat 1-0. Pepper in the circle. Maddie Hamilton is behind the plate as the battery mate. Get a look at Pepper's numbers there, 157 punch-outs in 171 innings. Pitch upstairs, 2-0 to Reines. Third to first, the Trojans go Haggerty, Charter, Grant, and Martin. Grant, the second baseman, an all-sack performer. Pepper wheels and deals the 2-0. Swing and a miss. And Reines sees the count move to 2-1. Outfield, Belcher's in left, Majeski's in center, and Gracie Williams is in right for this Anderson team that has had the hot bat of late. Here's the 2-1. And Reines tips it foul to the backstop, 2-2. Good movement on the pitch, but Reines able to hang tight and foul it off. Anderson, 3 consecutive games for the Trojans where they've scored at least 10 runs, including that 13-11 sack title win over Carson-Newman. Pepper set for the 2-2, and she deals. Well upstairs with a rise ball, and that loads the count on Reines. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pepper clad in all black. White numbers trimmed in gold for the Trojans and wearing a face mask. Pepper, the 3-2. Reines fists it foul, backing out of play. Do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Reines trying to set the table for Abby Fiesinger, who's hit successfully in 15 consecutive games. The 3-2. And Reines goes golfing to tip it foul back to the backstop. Keeps the count full, and Reines battling to an 8th pitch in this at-bat. First 8-pitch at-bat since a 12-pitch at-bat against Mars Hill on the road for Reines. Pepper rolls the ball against her left hip. Here's the 3-2. And Reines pokes it high into the air to right. In the sights is Gracie Williams, and she camps under it to put away Reines on the F9. So 1 up, 1 down. Reines battles 8 pitches deep, but a routine fly ball taken care of by Gracie Williams in right field. Now here's Abby Fiesinger. Fiesinger has been on an absolute tear, named the Southeast Region Player of the Year. The first pitch to her is down and in for a ball, 1-0. Fiesinger named the Southeast Region Player of the Year by the D2 CCA earlier today. The pitch, Fiesinger lofts into foul ground down the right field line. That's out of play. And the count moves to a ball and a strike apiece. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Base is empty for the Eagles in the bottom of the first. Pepper the 1-1. A changeup that Fiesinger wallops foul up the first baseline. Ball and 2 strikes. With as much scoring that was done between these two teams this season, the ERAs for both Carson-Newman and Anderson inflated in terms of the series, but Pepper has the lower one. 3.09 between her and Harley Duncan, the 2 pitchers who threw this year against Carson-Newman. Pepper, the win in the sack title game for the Trojans. 12 hits allowed in 11 1/3 innings against the Eagles. The 1-2. Fiesinger pokes high into the air to center field. A long run for Majeski. She was shaded toward right center, but that ball had enough air under it for Majeski to catch up to it, and she retires Fiesinger on the pop-up. So 2 away. No score in the bottom of the first, and Haley Caldwell to the plate. Caldwell's had success against the Trojans this year, 5 for 11 with a couple of doubles and 4 driven in. Kayla Pepper trying to do what her counterpart did, face the minimum. First pitch to Caldwell is on the outside edge for a strike, 0-1. No balls, a strike, 2 outs. And Pepper trying to work through the minimum. Caldwell as Pepper pitches. Pops one foul, third base side. That's turning toward Davis Street and out of play. 0-2. Some oddities here for the NCAA Regional, some stuff that you don't normally see for a game at the Vicky Kazee Hollifield Softball Complex. Davis Street has been closed off today. Pepper, the 0-2. Caldwell looks at the pitch upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes. And normally there are a boatload of cars parked on Davis Street that just make for perfect target practice. Instead, there's just a food truck parked on the street. The 1-2. Pitch upstairs again from Pepper, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The other weird thing, Carson-Newman's in the third base dugout. Eagles are the home team, and per NCAA rules, the home team occupies the third base side. That is not Carson-Newman's normal dugout, the 2-2. Caldwell loops foul onto Davis Street up toward the nursing building. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eagles making their 15th NCAA regional appearance, and Anderson making its 4th. Trojans made 3 in a row, the 2-2. Pepper leaves high, and that loads the count on Caldwell. 18-pitch inning for Kayla Pepper, but she's retired the first 2 batters she's faced. And the 7th pitch of this at-bat coming to Caldwell. Pepper deals, and Caldwell lifts high into the air. Shallow left field. The left fielder Belcher calls off the shortstop Charter, and Belcher makes the grab in no man's land to put away Caldwell. So 3 straight outs on pop-ups to the outfield for the Eagles. Pepper faces the minimum in the bottom of the first. No score after an inning here at the Vic on the Eagle Sports Network.
What defines a truly distinguished university? Visionary leadership, innovative teaching and learning, compelling evidence of success, a flexible learning environment. These are the traits that have made Anderson University one of 200 schools in the world to be chosen as an Apple School of Distinction. Anderson University, knowledge for the journey.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
No score after an inning here at the Vic between Carson-Newman and Anderson. Both the Eagles and Trojans pitching staffs locked in and facing the minimum after 1 as Brianna Haggerty leads things off for AU, taking a first pitch outside from Rager for a 1-0 count. Rager retired the Trojans in order with 3 straight ground outs that didn't make it outside of the base paths. Rager, the 1-0. Taking on the outside edge for a strike, 1-1. And then Kayla Pepper, Rager's counterpart in the circle for the Trojans. She was on point and generated 3 straight pop-ups that didn't trouble Anderson's outfielders. Rager, the 1-1. Just outside for a ball, 2-1 to Brianna Haggerty. Haggerty, the senior third baseman, hitting .235 in the cleanup spot, batting behind Kaysen Boatner, who had a monster freshman year for the Trojans. Rager, the 2-1. Just tying outside, 3-1, didn't miss by much. Home plate umpire today is Dwayne Shoemate. First base, Terry Shinsky-Harkness, and then Aaron Golden's at third for this crew. Rager, the 3-1 offering. Pops foul by Haggerty, back into the right. That'll load the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the second inning, no score between Carson-Newman and Anderson on a muggy, overcast day here at Mossy Creek. Rager, the 3-2. Called, strike 3, right down the heart of the plate. Allison Rager dials up the punch out, her 119th of the season. Take a look at the replay. Rager right down the inner half to strike out Haggerty looking. Brings up the shortstop Charter, and Rager deals to her. High for a ball, 1-0. 14 pitches for Allison Rager. Only 7 have been in the zone. That's uncharacteristic for her. She is one of the more pitch-efficient workers in the South Atlantic Conference, and, of course, you'd probably expect that from your league's pitcher of the year, the 1-1. Fouled off to the right, and the Anderson dugout, 1-1. When Rager can get ahead in the count, she is just about as good as anybody. Charter, 305 average on the year, 4 bombs, 25 driven in, trying to give Anderson the first base run of the day for either team here in the top of the second with no score. The 1-1. Foul back to the netting behind home plate. A ball and 2 strikes. Rager working deliberately. 1-2 the count. Ready for her 17th pitch. She deals. Taken outside for a ball, 2-2. Doesn't get Charter to chase. Set the defensive alignment for the Eagles. It's pretty much the same as it has been all year. Abby Fiesinger's in left, Lacey Reines is in center, and Haley Caldwell's in right. Rager, the 2-2. A change-up, drops low. Charter lays off, and that'll load the count. Third to first, the Eagles go Patterson, Solm, C, and Scott. And then Carolyn Levi is Rager's battery mate behind the plate. 3-2, Rager pitches. It's cued foul by Charter off the facing of the Anderson dugout on the first base side. First base dugout is typically Carson-Newman's dugout, but because of NCAA rules, the home team has to be on the third base side, and so Carson-Newman has switched dugouts for the day. Rager the 3-2. Popped foul, right field line. Haley Caldwell giving it a look as it flies over the fence, and Charter lives to see another pitch. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Morgan Charter. Freshman hitting .305. One of 6 freshmen, in the lineup today for Tommy Hewitt. The 3-2. Taken upstairs for the base on balls, and Charter works the 9-pitch walk. So a solid battle there for the shortstop Charter. She walks for the 12th time this year, and Anderson has the first base runner of the day for either team. 1 out in the top of the second. And no score between the Eagles and Trojans. Tommy Hewitt calls over Casey Grant to have a word with the honorable mention all-conference second baseman before she takes this at-bat. Charter's not really a titanic threat to steal. She does have 1 swipe on the year and 1 attempt. Grant's the more fleet-of-foot player. Let's see if Tommy Hewitt has asked her to drop down a bunt for the .277 hitter. Rager deals to her, and Grant does bunt back to the catcher Levi. Levi throws to first to C covering. Sacrifice is successful, 2-4 to move Charter into scoring position. So Grant does her job, but a solid effort from Carolyn Levi behind the plate. Not troubled by the bunt right in front of the dish. Good job by Grant to get it down. Better job by Levi out of her crouch to beat the speedy Grant to first. 2 away in the top of the second with no score, and Sydney Belcher to the plate. Belcher hitting .248 down in the 7-hole. And Rager deals to her. Outside for a ball, 1-0. Ball, no strikes, 2 out. Charter on second for the Trojans. No score in the top of the second inning. Eagles the 2 seed, Trojans the 7. And Rager dealing the 1-0. Strike on the inner half, belt high, 1-1. Belcher. RBI opportunity for her. She's driven in 21 on the year. Hitting .366 with runners in scoring position. Rager the 1-1. Tipped foul by Belcher to the fencing behind home plate, 1-2. Belcher trying to tally a timely 2-out hit here in the top of the second. That's what Anderson did late in the SAC title game against Carson-Newman. A lot of 2-out hits to take the lead. The 1-2. A change-up, looped foul up the third base line. Do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Anderson, Kaysen Boatner hit a 2-out, 3-run blast to give the Trojans the lead in the top of the 6th inning, and then added 3 more runs of insurance in the top of the 7th with 4 straight 2-out knocks to win the SAC title over Carson-Newman, the Trojans' 2nd SAC tournament title all time. Here's the 1-2 to Belcher. Tipped foul toward Anderson's dugout, first base side. That's the count of the ball and 2 strikes. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up from Allison Rager. to Sydney Belcher. Carson-Newman's outfield pretty much straight away. Caldwell maybe playing a little more toward the line and right. Corners nearly even with the bags. The 1-2. Belcher takes high for a ball, 2-2. Anderson really patient at the plate. Threatening here with Charter on second. Haggerty struck out looking to start the inning, then Charter walked on 9 pitches, moved to second on the Grant sacrifice. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a bouncer into the hole at second. C fields cleanly. Chest tight and throws to first to Scott in time to retire Belcher. No runs, no hits, no errors. Trojans leave a runner on base. No score through an inning and a half here at the Vic, with Rager, Levi, and Scott to the plate on the Eagle Sports Network.
Every student comes to Wingate with a story.
They come to us as young people with hopes and dreams of their own.
My Wingate experience increased my impact.
Because the effect that Wingate has on me is compounded by the effect I have on the world after I leave Wingate.
The faculty here helped me go as far as I could go, further than I thought I could. They led me in the classroom and out in the community.
When faced with an opportunity, we don't ask why, we ask why not. We reach for better ways of doing everything.
That's part of the reason Wingate is a laboratory of difference making.
Because making a difference is fundamental
to what we are as a university
and who we are as people.
That's the future I'm working toward. One where we strategically change and adapt to do everything we can to transform the lives of those around us. The Wingate story is my story. My name is Rhett Brown, and I am a Wingate graduate.
Allison Rager leads things off for Carson-Newman here in the home half of the second inning. With no score between the Eagles and Trojans, and Pepper's first pitch to Rager is fouled out of play to the first base side, 0-1. Nothing in one to Allison Rager. The pitch. Rager takes for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. To the leadoff batter, Rager. Hitting .500 as a leadoff batter this year. Pepper loops one high for ball 2. 2-1 to Allison Rager. First team all region as a pitcher. The pitch, and that plunks Rager square on the small of her back. And Rager, very frustrated, rips off her elbow pad and will slowly make her way to first after a glimpse to the circle. But it gives Carson-Newman its first base runner of the day. Get a second look at that. Rager turned and it caught her square between the numbers. First base umpire Terry Shinsky Harkness makes sure that she's okay. The table set for Carolyn Levi. No score in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch. Levi checks her swing and a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. It's not the only regional action to take place today. Young Harris and Coker will square off over in Dahlonega, as will North Georgia and Lees McRae, the 1-0. Levi fights it foul. Back to the netting. Do it again at a ball and a strike apiece. Winners of this sub-regional and the winners of the sub-regional in Dahlonega will play next week with the right to go to the College World Series on the line. Pepper the 1-1. That's upstairs to Levi, 2-1. Pepper, one of the better strikeout artists in the South Atlantic Conference, 157 on the year. Top 5 in the league in that regard. Here's the 2-1. Levi squares to bunt, pushes it back to the circle. Pepper fields, throws low to first, but Grant's there to scoop it up. Second baseman covering the bag, and 4 pitches into the at-bat. Carolyn Levi drops down a successful 1-4 sacrifice bunt to move Rager into scoring position with no score in the bottom of the second. Brings Taylor Scott to the plate. Levi, perfect bunt, pushing it back to the circle. First pitch to Scott is on the way, and she fists it foul to the first base side. Martin gives it a look as it comes crunching down on top of the press box. 0-1 to Taylor Scott. Scott hitting .216 on the year. She has brought her average up 30 points after a low point at the start of April, the 0-1. Scott smashes to straightaway center field. That's a base hit. A wide turnaround third for Rager. She retreats to the bag as Scott sends her station to station. And that's the first hit of the day for either team. Runners on the corners and 1 out for Ashlyn Cooper. Just the second hit of the year for Taylor Scott against the Anderson Trojans. Scott, solid swing, just stinging it to center field. And now a fly ball will do it for Cooper as Pepper pitches. And Cooper grounds it to the right side of the infield. It's picked up by Grant. She was staring off Rager, who was leaning. Throw to third is not in time for Haggerty to sweep the tag. A fielder's choice, and all hands are safe for the Eagles. Scott moves over to second, running behind Grant. And now Ashton Patterson to the plate. Patterson hitting a $120 on the air, but with the bases loaded here. Just a little nub shot. The first pitch to Patterson's in for a strike, 0-1. But Grant just took too long staring down Rager. Credit her for dancing enough to get everybody aboard safely. Pepper, the 0-1. And it's tipped foul off the head of Patterson's bat. Thought she had gotten plunked. Instead, it's off the handle of the bat, according to home plate umpire Dwayne Shoemate. Get a second look at it here. Nothing in 2. Pepper pitching. Patterson takes low and away for a ball. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases juiced for the Eagles in the bottom of the second with no score. 1-2. Patterson knocks into the air, first base side, into foul ground to keep the count of the ball and 2 strikes. Patterson 1 for 2 on the year with the bases loaded. 2 RBIs on the year. They came in a bases loaded at bat at Wingate. Looking for a timely knock here in the bottom of the second. The pitch. Patterson slams to center field. That's a base hit. It scores a run. Eagles go station to station. Patterson drives in Rager from third, and the Eagles lead it 1-0 in the bottom of the second. One out, bases loaded, and it's 1-0 Eagles.
Number 3, shortstop, Leah Stone.
So 1-0 to Leah Sohm. Here in the bottom of the second inning, bases loaded for the Eagles. Scott, Cooper, and Patterson on the pond. Pepper pitches, and Sohm pokes it in the foul ground down the left field line. Belcher gives it a look, but that'll drop for the first strike of the at-bat. 1-1. A run off of 2 hits in the inning for the Eagles. But looking for more. A hit batsman, a sacrifice bunt. 1-1, swing and a miss by Sohm, 1-2. And then Cooper reaches on a fielder's choice thanks to some indecision by Casey Grant at second. The Patterson single to center drives in the first run of the day. The 1-2. Sohm slices it. Foul along the third baseline. Hit the chalk, then skipped wide of the bag as Haggerty let it skid by. Do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Leah Sohm looking for her first hit of the year with the bases loaded. She's 0 for 3. Big spot here, up 1-0 with 1 out. The pitch. Some takes high for a ball, 2-2. 40 pitches for Kayla Pepper, 25 for strikes. Eagles have scored the go-ahead run on a Patterson RBI single to center. The 2-2. Sohm pokes toward foul ground, third base side, twisting out of play onto the hillside, adjacent to Davis Street. Keeps the count at 2-2. Pepper the 2-2. And Sohm was hopping out of the way, but she took it on her ankle. A hit batsman with the bases loaded brings in a run, and it's 2-0 Eagles. Sohm tried to leap out of the way of this one. We get a second look here. The plant, the jump, and it hits her on that lead right foot. Lineup turns back to the top of the order for Lacey Reines. 1 out. Still an Eagle on every base, up 2-0 in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Lacey Reines, hit toward the right center field alleyway. That drops in for a base hit. Eagles trying to score two. The throw to the plate is in time, but the tag not applied. Lacey Reines with a 2-run single to right center. And the Eagles with the merry-go-round rolling. Sohm over to third. Patterson and Cooper both score. And the Eagles have hung 4 in the bottom of the second. Carson-Newman has the merry-go-round working here in the bottom half of the second inning.
Now at the bat, number 26, left fielder,
a leadoff hit batsman for Allison Rager, a sacrifice for Levi, single for Scott, fielder's choice for Cooper. First pitch to Fiesinger is popped toward third. Haggerty tracking over to the fence. She leans but can't make the grab over her shoulder, and Fiesinger could have been retired there. Goes down instead as a strike, 0-1. Carson-Newman has scored its runs with an RBI single to center for Patterson and a bases loaded hit by pitch for Sohm and a 2-run single to right for Lacey Reines. Here's the 0-1. Fiesinger taps into the air, right field side, foul ground and dropping before Gracie Williams can get over. She's in an 0-2 hole. Fiesinger popped up to center her first time up and is in the midst of a 15-game hitting streak. If she gets a knock here in this game, she'll match her coach, Kristen Topple, for the 5th longest streak in school history. The 0-2. Fiesinger bounces foul on the first base side. Grabbed by Martin in foul ground, a foot wide of the chalk. Do it again at 0-2. A 4-run second for the Eagles. RBIs for Patterson, Sohm, and a 2 RBI day for Reines. The pitch. And Fiesinger wears it on her backside. Third hit batter of the inning for Kayla Pepper. Still only 1 out, and the Eagles up 4-0. 9th player to the plate in Haley Caldwell after Fiesinger loads him up again as a hit batter. Caldwell hit a soft pop-up to left her first time up. And Tommy Hewitt out from the first base dugout to have a word with the Trojans infield. Kayla Pepper has run into a spot of bother. 4 runs off of 3 hits in the inning and 3 free bases in the form of 3 hit batters. Didn't go down as an error, but Casey Grant's indecision at second certainly not helping the cause either. Probably should be 2 outs on the fielder's choice by Cooper, but that has at least kept the option for a sacrifice on for Carson-Newman with the bases loaded and Caldwell to the plate. We'll see if Tommy Hewitt leaves Pepper in, or if he turns to Harley Duncan. Dwayne Shoemate out from behind home plate to have a word with Anderson's head coach. And it appears that this conversation is just going to be ongoing. And Hewitt elects to leave Pepper in. It's not like she's given up BBs. Eagles have had some decently hit balls to the outfield, but it's not like Carson-Newman smashed 3 straight doubles off of Pepper. The bigger issue is that she's hit 3 batters in the inning. First pitch to Haley Caldwell is swung on and missed, 0-1. Bases loaded for the Eagles, 4 runs off of 3 hits in the frame. Sohm, Reines, Fiesinger on the bags, and plenty of speed between Sohm and Reines on third and second. The 0-1. Caldwell bounces foul up the third base line, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes and out. The pitch. Caldwell fights it off foul, keep it at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes and out. Eagles try to keep a 4-run bottom of the second rolling. The pitch. Caldwell takes upstairs for a ball, 1-2. Pepper in need of a strikeout or something weakly hit in the infield here. The 1-2. Caldwell lays off the high stuff, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes with just 1 out on the board. Eagles have batted around here in the bottom of the second and scored 4 times. Pepper, the 2-2. Caldwell hangs it high down the left field line into foul ground and out of play. Caldwell gave it a ride. Probably wouldn't have left the park. And probably wise by Belcher, if it even had gone in the park, to let it drop. A run would have scored. The 2-2. Caldwell tips it foul into Hamilton's mitt, and she strikes out swinging for the second out of the frame. So 2 away for Allison Rager. She started off the inning getting plunked. Caldwell swings at a pitch upstairs to strike out. First pitch to Rager. Rager slices it to left center field. That ball bounces off the base of the wall. Rager bound for extra bases. Fiesinger rounds third. She scores standing. It's a 2-out, 3 RBI double for Allison Rager, and the Eagles are up 7-0 in the bottom of the second. A 2-out, 3-run double for Rager. Got the pitch she liked and just sliced it to left center field off the base of the wall. And that easily cleared the bases. A 7-run second for Carson-Newman. And now Tommy Hewitt out from the dugout. He has his lineup card in hand, and Harley Duncan will enter the game for the Trojans. More on Anderson's pitcher when we get back after this on the Eagle Sports Network. Good day to be a dog. Taking in the action here at the Diamond at the Vic. 10 out of 10. Doggy's got a little plastic lid, having a good time. Eagles having a good time, up 7-0 on Anderson after a 7-run bottom of the second inning. Off of just 4 hits, 3 hit batters in the inning. And Carson-Newman in the driver's seat against the Trojans. Eagles have won at least one game in each of their 7 of the last 8 regionals that they've been in, and are staked to a big lead here in the top of the third with Gracie Williams leading things off for Anderson. Hitting .250 for the righty. Rager deals, swing and a miss for strike one. Nothing in 1 to Williams. And Rager pitches. Popped in the air to left. Fiesinger calls off Salm, and the left fielder makes the grab to retire Williams. Routine for Fiesinger, and there's one away for the center fielder, Megan Majeski. Majeski, one of the more fleet of foot players in the South Atlantic Conference. Fiesinger flashes the thumbs up and then trots in to deal with the left-handed slapper Majeski. Hitting .272 down in the 9-hole. Everybody coming in for the Eagles outfield. Rager deals to Majeski. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-1. Majeski, 37 runs scored, 16 stolen bases in 17 attempts. Rager, the 0-1. Looped foul up the third base line, 0-2. The 0-2. Rager sights the side and pitches. Taken outside. Majeski doesn't chase. A ball and 2 strikes. Rager, the 1-2. Bounced up the first base line. Scott Fields on the short hop on the second bounce and turns over to the first base bag to win the race with Majeski to retire her unassisted. Good work by Taylor Scott at first to put away Majeski. And there's 2 away for Jocelyn Martin. Eagles up 7-0 in the top of the third. Rager has just allowed 1 base runner on the day. And now has to contend with the hot-hitting Jocelyn Martin, who grounds the ball to second. Fields the roller cleanly and whips it over to first to put away Martin. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left for the Trojans in a 1-2-3 inning. Eagles stake to a 7-0 lead headed to the bottom of the third. This is the Eagle Sports Network.
Now hitting for the Eagles, number 11, first baseman Taylor Scott.
Taylor Scott leads things off for Carson-Newman here in the home half of the third with a 7-0 lead in hand for the Eagles. Arlie Duncan pitches to her, and Scott pops up a ball that won't leave the infield. Third baseman Brianna Haggerty settles under it just a few feet down the line. And Scott retired on the soft pop up to third. No trouble there for Haggerty. And there's 1 away for Ashlyn Cooper.
Now for that, number 22,
Cooper reached on a fielder's choice thanks to some indecision by All-Sac second baseman Casey Grant. Duncan pitches to her. And Cooper takes in tight for a ball, 1-0. Duncan on in relief of Kayla Pepper. An inning and 2/3 for Pepper in the start. 4 hits and 7 runs allowed with 3 hit batters. The 1-0 in the dirt to Cooper, 2-0. 7-run second, the difference right now for the Eagles. The 2-0. Cooper takes in tight. 3-0 to Harley Duncan. Duncan 1-0 on the year against Carson-Newman, a 5.79 ERA. 2 starts, 2 appearances, and a complete game, the 3-0. Cooper rolls it back to the circle. It bobbles off of Duncan, but she resets, gathers, and tosses over to Martin at first to put away Cooper for the second out of the third. 2 away for Ashton Patterson. Patterson scored the first run of the day with a 1-out brace to center that scored Allison Rager to start off that 7-run second for the Eagles. Now Patterson looking for the first multi-hit day of her career. She takes right down Broadway for a strike, 0-1. Base is empty for the Eagles with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Duncan, the 0-1. Change up that bounces off the front lip of home plate, 1-1. Duncan, the 1-1. Taken outside by Patterson, 2-1 the count. Last season, Carson-Newman picked up a Day 1 regional win over Georgia College, the 2-1, and that plunks Patterson on her inner leg. 4th hit batter of the day by Anderson pitching. It sends Leah Sohm to the plate. One taken by Patterson on the back foot, on the back leg, I should say. Doesn't matter how it happens. Eagles have another base runner in the bottom of the third for Leah Sohm. First pitch to Sohm, taken in tight for a ball, 1-0. Sohm got plunked with the bases loaded to drive in a run. Still looking for her first official at-bat on the day. 1-0. Line tight to Sohm, 2-0. 12 pitches for Harley Duncan in this relief effort. So far, only 4 have found the zone. Bottom of the third inning, Eagles up 7-0. Duncan the 2-0. Line outside, 3-0. If you're Duncan, you certainly don't want to issue a free pass to Sohm with Reines and Fiesinger, the Eagles' top 2 hitters, up next. The 3-0. Tad low. A 4-pitch walk to Leah Sohm. So a 2-out batter for Patterson. A 4-pitch walk to Sohm. And now you get Lacey Reines to the plate, who drove in 2 in her last at-bat. Right-hand pitcher, left-hand batter. Reines looking for a knock with a runner in scoring position and 2 out. First pitch is down and in for a ball, 1-0. Duncan struggling to throw strikes right now. 15 pitches, only 4 have found the zone. The 1-0. She finds the outside edge for a strike, 1-1. Patterson bouncing off of second base. Trying to put the Eagles toward run rule territory. Up 7-0 in the bottom of the third. The 1-1. A changeup. Reines pokes over the glove of a leaping second baseman, Grant. The center fielder bobbles. The throw home is cut off by Martin in the circle. Sohm scores from 3 bases away unearned, and the Eagles are up 9-0 in the bottom of the third. It's a base hit for Lacey Reines to right center field. She stays put on first. Drives in 1, And then the second run scores on the error by the center fielder, Majeski. And that brings up Abby Fiesinger. First pitch to her is high for a ball. 1-0. One and 0 to Abby Fiesinger. The pitch. Fiesinger takes down for a ball, 2-0. Fiesinger, third plate appearance for the day. She's 0 for 1. Has popped up to center and been plunked. 9-0, Eagles in the driver's seat. The 2-0. Outside to Fiesinger, 3-0. If you're Harley Duncan, you probably don't want to serve up anything fat to the Southeast Region Player of the Year. Abby Fiesinger, league's batting champ for the South Atlantic Conference, the 3-0. Fiesinger takes outside and another 4-pitch walk. All of this has come with 2 outs. And up comes Haley Caldwell, who's 0 for 2. She is the only Eagle today who hasn't been on base. A pop-up and a strikeout swinging. And Caldwell pokes the pitch into the air. Shallow left center field. A bit of a run for Belcher, but she settles under it and puts away Caldwell to end the inning. But the Eagles score 2 more times off of a hit and an error in the frame. 2 left on base for Carson-Newman thanks to Lacey Reines and her single over the head of Casey Grant at second. It stakes Carson-Newman into run rule territory. Eagles are up 9-0 on the Trojans as we head to the 4th on the Eagle Sports Network.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me. You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Now Carson-Newman has bounced out to a 9-0 lead on Anderson thanks to a bunch of free bases, 4 hit batters, a couple walks, and some timely knocks for Carson-Newman. Eagles 5 for 9 on the day with runners in scoring position and out to a 9-0 lead on the Trojans. And Anderson with some work to be done. First pitch to Maddie Hamilton is low for a ball, 1-0. By the way, Allison Rager has only allowed 1 base runner on the day. She's been dominant in the circle for Carson-Newman. It came on a walk to Charter for 1-0. Check swing and a pitch on the outer half, 1-1. Last time Rager pitched here at the Vic, she picked up a no-hitter on senior day. The 1-1. Bounced to third. Patterson fields on the first hop and throws over to Scott at first to retire Hamilton. 1 up, 1 down. And it's now 6 consecutive retired for Rager after allowing the 1-out walk to Charter back in the second. Brings up the designated player, Kaysen Boatner. First team All-Region, first team All-SAC, and one of the best designated players in the country. Rager's first pitch to her is a strike on the inner half, knee height, 0-1. Boatner, 15 home runs to lead the South Atlantic Conference. The 0-1. Downstairs for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 9-0. Carson-Newman in the driver's seat here in the top of the 4th inning. A 7-run second, a 2-run third. And the Eagles cruising. The 1-1. Boatner pops foul back behind home plate and out of play. Nice grab by a fan on the concrete pad, 1-2. Little bobble, but he seized it. 1-2 to Kason Boatner. Carson-Newman's outfield, unsurprisingly, back on one of the best power hitters in the SAC. Rager, the 1-2. Outside for a ball, 2-2. A walk to Charter, the lone base runner that's reached for Anderson. Here in the top of the fourth, one out. Base is empty for the Trojans. 9-0. Carson-Newman trying to run rule Anderson. The 2-2. Line drive down the left field line, turning foul and off the wall. Boatner straightens that one up by a yard. It's extra bases. Instead, she has to retreat back to the right-hand batter's box. Boatner, probably the next great Anderson hitter for forever and a day. It's felt like Tommy Hewitt has had somebody that can just put a hurting on the ball. The 2-2, taken outside to load the count. Had Kayla Niles, All-American catcher for the Trojans for 4 years. Before her, the Child sisters, Molly and Abby. The 3-2. Change up in the dirt. Walks Boatner. Heard Michael Graves in his pregame interview say, "We will not pitch to Kason Boatner." And the Eagles don't give her anything to hit there. She works the one-out walk to get to Brianna Haggerty. Haggerty flips the bat over her right shoulder. And Rager ready to lock and load. She pitches. It's popped into the air. Foul ground, right field side, and out of play. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. 9 runs off of 5 hits for the Eagles. No errors and 3 left. No runs, no hits, an error and 1 left for the Trojans. Rager, the 0-1. Hit foul by Haggerty into the fencing behind home plate. 0-2. I have to wonder how the layoff for all these teams will affect things. Anderson, 12 days removed from the SAC tournament crown, and had got hot in Salisbury. 3 straight games where they scored double-digit runs. The 0-2 to Haggerty. Check swing and a pitch up, 1-2. That layoff, coupled with Allison Rager, might be doing some harm to Anderson's offense here. 9-0. Carson-Newman in the driver's seat in the top of the fourth. Rager, the 1-ball, 2-strike offering, is a changeup. Poked in the air towards center field. Reines retreats, settles under it, and makes the grab toward the alleyway in left center to put away Haggerty on the line out. 2 away, and solid work by Reines in center field. That brings up Charter. Morgan Charter, one of 2 base runners on the day for the Trojans. A 1-out walk in the second. She's got Boatner to work with on first here in the top of the fourth. First pitch is fouled back behind home plate, 0-1. The pitch. Tipped foul for a strike. And it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Rager trying to strand her second runner of the day, and Boatner on first. She pitches high for a ball, 1-2. Well, Rager ran into a bit of a spot of bother. Not too bad in the second, but just wasn't as pitch efficient as she typically is. She's settled down. Just 53 pitches here into her 4th inning of work. The 1-2. Off speed and outside to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Trojans looking for a 2-out knock. Rager deals the 2-2. Check swing and a pitch tipped foul off of the handle of Charter's bat. Do it again at 2-2. Trojans in need of runs right now, or this game could be over after the top of the fifth. Eagles up 9-0. Look to run rule the Trojans. The 2-2. Downstairs to Charter. That'll load the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Charter. Carolyn Levi hollering out instructions. Rager. It's the sign from Levi. Here's the 3-2. Poke towards short. Somefield's on the line. Whips it behind her back. And that's the inning. So Anderson gets its second base runner of the day on its second walk, but the Trojans can't do anything with Boatner. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left for Anderson. Eagles are up 9-0. Headed to the bottom of the fourth on the Eagle Sports Network.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Carson-Newman in the driver's seat, up 9-0 on Anderson's Trojans, thanks to a 7-run second and a 2-run third. Anderson pitching has issued a boatload of free bases, 4 hit batters, a couple walks, and those have helped the Eagles out to a 9-0 lead. Harley Duncan working in relief against Allison Rager, who pops one up down the left field line. Belcher calls off the shortstop Charter and settles under it along the line to put away Rager for the first time today. She'd been aboard as a hit batter and with a 3-run double back in the second. She's retired here on the pop-up down the left field line. 1 out for Carolyn Levi. Eagles hoping that this is the final time they come to the plate in the game here in the bottom of the fourth. Duncan pitches to Levi, and she laces one foul off the facing of the Carson-Newman dugout on the third base side. 0-1. Eagles up 9-0. Run rule potentially on if the Eagles can keep the Trojans at bay in the top of the fifth. Levi officially 0 for 1 on the day. A sacrifice and a pop-up to second. Base is empty for her in the bottom of the fourth with 1 out. Duncan, the 0-1. Bounces it in the dirt, 1-1. Duncan wheels and deals the 1-ball, 1-strike offering, and Levi swings, lifts it deep to left field. It bounces off the base of the wall. Belcher picks it up as Levi stands up on second. She's going to 1-out double poke to the wall and left, and the Eagles with their 6th hit of the day. Carolyn Levi.
Coming to the plate, number 11, first baseman Taylor Scott.
Her 7th double of the season. And now up comes Taylor Scott. Scott 1 for 2 on the day. She stands in as Duncan bounces one in front of the plate. Scott was able to check her swing at the changeup, 1-0. Taylor Scott 1 for 2, 21 RBI. She is hitting .344 with runners in scoring position. An opportunity for the Eagles to score double-digit runs for the first time since April 22nd. The 1-0. Taken outside for a ball, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, and out. Eagles cruising. Looking to play at 10 a.m. tomorrow. The 2-0. Scott Lifts to deep left field. Belcher will watch it get over her head and bounce off the base of the wall. Levi the turnaround third. She scores standing. Scott loops a double to left, and the Eagles lead it 10-0 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Back-to-back doubles for Levi and Scott. And Scott with a big poke over the head of Belcher and left off the base of the wall. Levi scores easily. And now Ashlyn Cooper comes to the plate. Duncan deals, and Cooper takes on the outside edge for a strike, 0-1. 10 runs off of 7 hits for Carson-Newman. No errors and 3 left. No runs, no hits, an error and 2 left for the Trojans. Duncan the 0-1 to Cooper. Bounces it in the dirt. It's 1-1. Pitcher of record for the Trojans right now is the starter Kayla Pepper. And Anderson with a boatload of work to do. Need to score at least 3 times in the top of the 5th. The 1-1. Cooper swings and misses. Tardy on that pitch, 1-2. Back-to-back one-out doubles for Levi and Scott to grab this 10-0 lead over Anderson. Here's the 1-2. Down on the way to Cooper, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes and out. Eagles have just been phenomenal with runners in scoring position. 6 for 10 on the day. The 2-2. A changeup. Cooper waves at it. The catcher bobbles the ball, and Cooper aboard. So Cooper reaches on the passed ball. And still just 1 out. Maddie Hamilton just couldn't really find it. Cooper swung at the pitch in the dirt. Actually, check that. We'll go wild pitch as that one bounced. But Cooper aboard. Still 1 out for Patterson. And Michael Graves has turned to his lineup card. 10-0, Carson-Newman leading. But looking for more here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So the Eagles will bring in a pair of pinch runners. Valerie C., the flex player, will come in to run at first for Cooper. And Kelsey Jones is in to run for Taylor Scott at second. So Patterson looking for a multi-hit day. First pitch to her is outside for a ball, 1-0. 10 runs off of 7 hits for the Eagles and looking for more. Patterson has been aboard twice today, an RBI single to center, a hit by pitch. This one's in tight for a ball, 2-0. Duncan in this relief effort has thrown 36 pitches. Only 14 have gone for strikes. Duncan wheels and deals the 2-0. And that plunks Patterson. So she gets hit. It is the 6th hit batter of the day for Anderson pitching. And the bases are loaded with 1 out. Patterson just wears it on her left elbow. And now Leah Sohm comes to the plate. Sohm has yet to register an official at-bat. She's been hit and walked on 4 pitches. Bases loaded, 1 out. Bottom of the 4th, Eagles up 10-0. Duncan deals. And Sohm takes on the outside edge for a strike, 0-1. Infield is in for Anderson. Jones, C., and Patterson on the pond for the Eagles. Outfield also in for the Trojans. Duncan the 0-1. Sohm bounces it in front of the circle. No throw by the catcher Hamilton. She didn't even retreat to home plate. And everybody is safe. Hamilton had to come out of her crouch and into the field of play. And the Eagles are up 11-0. Get a second look at it. Sohm, just a short poke. Jones scores sliding, and the Eagles are up 11-0 on the fielder's choice. Brings up Lacey Reines, who takes on the outside edge for a strike, 0-1. Duncan, the 0-1. Reines bounces it through the right side of the infield. That's a base hit. Rolling around second is Patterson. She scores standing. Reines moves over to second on the throw. Sohm over to third. It's a 2-run single for Lacey Reines. She's got a multi-hit effort, and the Eagles are up 13-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Patterson and C both score on the play, and Carson-Newman cruising with Abby Fiesinger to the plate. Nothing in one to Abby Fiesinger. 13 runs off of 8 hits for the Eagles. Here in a 4-run bottom of the fourth. The 0-1. Bounces up there to Fiesinger, 1-1. Probably the last chance for Abby Fiesinger to extend her 15-game hitting streak. Presently the 6th longest in school history. She's 0 for 1 today, but has been aboard twice. Hit and walked. The 1-1. Fiesinger nips it back to the circle. Duncan stoops to field and makes the grab. Then the throw home. The Trojans turn 2. 1-3-2. The double play goes to get Anderson out of the inning, but the Eagles are up 13-0 as we head to the 5th. Trojans need to score 6 times to keep the game going. Fiesinger, just a bouncer back to the circle, and quick work for the Trojans to turn 2 here on the Eagle Sports Network.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
What defines a truly distinguished university? Visionary leadership, innovative teaching and learning, compelling evidence of success, a flexible learning environment. These are the traits that have made Anderson University one of 200 schools in the world to be chosen as an Apple School of Distinction. Anderson University, knowledge for the journey.
Well, Anderson with some work to do, down 13-0 in the top of the 5th. The Trojans need to score 6 times to extend the game. As the Eagles bring Natalie Lankster in left field. So a defensive change for Carson-Newman. Casey Grant will lead things off for Anderson. Down 13-0. Rager has just allowed 2 base runners on the day. First pitch to Grant is in for a strike at about 0-1. She walked Kaysen Boatner in the 4th and walked Charter in the 2nd. The only 2 Trojans that have been aboard today for Anderson. Rager, the 0-1. Grant flies it to right. Caldwell trots in 5 steps, and the right fielder makes the grab to put away Grant on the F9. 1 away. Eagles in the driver's seat to advance in the winner's bracket and play at 10 a.m. tomorrow against the winner of LMU and Wingate. Today's second game, which will take place at 3:30. Rager set to pitch to Belcher now. 1 out, base is empty, and she deals. Foul back into the right, 0-1. 13 runs off of 8 hits, no errors for the Eagles, 4 left on. No runs for the Trojans, no hits, an error, and 2 left. Rager gets the sign from Levi. Here's the 0-1. High and tight for a ball, 1-1 the count. Good crowd here at the Vic for this Southeast Regional. School's no longer in session at Mossy Creek, but still a pretty solid crowd here at the Vic. The pitch. Bounced foul up the third baseline. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count. With 1 out. 13-0. Carson-Newman with the lead. Seven in the second, 2 in the third, 4 in the fourth for Carson-Newman, in position to run rule Anderson. Rager, the 1-2. Rolled up the third baseline. Patterson fields. The throw to first is on point to Scott, and Belcher retired 5-3. Quickly 2 away. And Anderson will need 1 massive 2-out rally to extend this game. Trojans will turn to the right fielder, Gracie Williams. Williams, right-hander with a wide stance. Rager deals to her. Swing and a miss. Williams starting 0-1. 13 runs, 8 hits for the Eagles. No runs, no hits for the Trojans. Rager trying to close up shop on a run rule win. Rager, the 0-1. That's high for a ball, 1-1. Good thing here for Carson-Newman and Allison Rager. Not being taxed, just 65 pitches for Allison Rager. The 1-1. Swinging a bouncer to third. Patterson fields, throw to first, pulls Scott off the bag. She turns and plants the foot. Ball game over. Allison Rager, her second no-hitter in as many starts here at the Vic. The Eagles run rule the Trojans 13-0. And Carson-Newman moves on in the winner's bracket. Eagles will play tomorrow at 10 a.m. against the winner of Wingate and LMU. All smiles from Allison Rager. Hugs and hand pounds for the senior out of Elkview. So Rager gets the win. She improves to 17-7 on the year, while Kayla Pepper takes the loss. She drops to 15-13 as the Eagles cruise to a 13-0 win over Anderson. Eagles get the winner between LMU and Wingate. The Trojans get the loser in an elimination game tomorrow at 12:30. We'll have game 2 of the day between Wingate and Lincoln Memorial for you at 3:30 p.m. For our director, Michael Watrang, replay technician, Danielle Whaley, camera operators, Brendan Campbell, Dawson Campbell, and Sydney Spadafora. I'm Adam Cavalier. Thanks for watching. Eagles are on in the winner's bracket. Anderson plays an elimination game tomorrow. This is the Eagles Sports Network.
To center fielder, Bella Bucelato, and your starting pitcher, number 20, Bailey Griffith. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps and hats for the playing of our national anthem.